What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What's good? Back with some more content from one of our newer series, a newer playlist I just started called Subscriber Spotlight, where from now and into the future I'll pose questions or ideas in the community tab and a post, and then ask for your interpretation, ask for your opinion, ask for your story, as detailed, as long, as open as you want it to be, and you share it, and I'll try to make content out of it and tell your story, tell your opinion, tell a story about how you seen it through your lens. So recently I put out one that said, what is your favorite NBA basketball moment and why? How did it make you feel? Be as long, thorough, detailed, and open as you like. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments, and I'll make a video sharing. So this will be the second one. We did one on Michael Jordan's dunk on Dikembe Mutombo, and now let's bring up the comment here. Our boy A-Ram, shout out to A-Ram, huge Wilt Chamberlain fan. A-Ram said, Willis Reed coming in from the tunnel, entering the game on a busted up leg in Game 7 of the 1970 championship game against the Lakers. The Knicks went on to win, probably the most inspiration sports moments I ever seen. He hit the first two shots, sat down, and the Knicks went wild. A-Ram, I salute you, my guy. Big supporter of the channel here from as far as I can remember, to be honest with you. Appreciate you, my guy. And this was actually really good. I'm really glad you picked this moment. This was an awesome one. Now listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know the full details about this story. What I do know, and what I've read, and I haven't seen any as iconic as this moment is, especially for New York Knicks basketball history, I've actually never thought about going back and looking at video footage for it. So basically, the 1969-1970 season, Game 7 of the NBA Finals versus Wilt Chamberlain and the Lakers, Willis Reed was actually the MVP. He actually was he All-Star MVP too? I can't remember, but he was definitely the NBA regular season MVP. And in Game 5, he suffered a horrible injury, tore muscle in his right leg, or his, I don't know, was it a calf or thigh? I think it might have been a thigh injury. But somewhere in his right leg, complete muscle tear. And he completely missed Game 6, and I think a lot of people expected him to miss Game 7. Now, when he missed Game 6, Wilt Chamberlain went wild. I don't remember his exact stat line, but he had like damn near 50 points, like 25, 26, 28 rebounds, something like that. It was damn near like a 50-point, 30 rebound game. And with Willis Reed out, Wilt Chamberlain just terrorized their front line. And nobody thought Willis Reed was going to come out. And then, like I said, I haven't seen the video footage. I don't know if they announced it prior to him coming out the tunnel, or if nobody had any idea he was going to come out the tunnel. But I think during warm-ups, here come Willis Reed with his warm-ups on. All I heard from testimony is that the Garden went nuts. New York went nuts. They said it was so loud, the decibel level was unreal. And I think before he went out, he got some, cortisone shots in his leg, something to give him a boost. And he came out, and like A-Ram said, hit his first two shots, and from everything I heard is that lifted the team up. that inspired the team to go out and get this championship. The New York Knicks' very first championship before they would get another championship in what I believe was the 73 finals, I think. But it was definitely their first championship. And on top of that, I heard he played great defense on Wilt that game 7. And he didn't have like a gaudy stat line or nothing like that, you know, comparable to his MVP numbers. He might have just had a handful of points, handful of rebounds, nothing that really, you know, sticks out. But it was what I heard, truly an inspirational effort, truly an inspirational performance, and it goes a long way to show you how somebody can really impact the game without having any big box score impact, or at least what the box score will display on the surface, right, for that particular player's profile, outside of maybe plus minus, and even then that's not a perfect stat. Anyway, like I said, I don't know like the full story and all the details about it all. I know that's a very iconic NBA moment, though, and I've never seen video footage. Never seen, and you know the when I found out about this game and about this Willis Reed performance, because I know the Knicks don't have many championships. I think those are only 2 they had. So I was like, who the hell was on this damn Knicks team? I read up on it and I found out about that game 7. I was like, sheesh. It's gonna be a couple years ago. Anyway, I'll shut up. Got a video we can all react to, and I can finally watch some of this and see what it was all about and hear people's testimony on the experience. Just like Aram. Appreciate you, Aram. Let's get into this video. All right, got a video here from VSlice02, the Willis Reed Game, Sportscentury. Let's get into it.
New York City pulsed with anticipation. The Knicks were on the verge of winning their first NBA title, but the fans knew that unless Willis Reed could play, chances were remote.
In Game 7, the one big question in New York City is, was Reed able to play?
Nobody knew whether he'd play or not, right up until game time.
I said, Willis, if you can give us a few minutes, I'm sure that that's going to mean as much as anything.
And the crowd is very quiet as they wonder whether Willis will be in the lineup.
Next thing you hear, well, they're giving him a shot. What are they giving him a shot? I don't know, something they give racehorses.
We just had an announcement from the press row that Willis has just received 200 cc of cortisone.
Close your eyes and grit your teeth.
Now, I don't know how much 200 cc is. Is that like on the max end of what a human should get? I don't know. If you know or have something to compare it to so I can get an idea, let me know in the comment section.
You're doing it for a reason that is worth the pain, it's worth taking it, because, you're trying to do something that was going to be historical.
I think we see Willis coming out.
Here comes Willis, and the crowd is going wild.
I've never heard, the emotion of a crowd that responded as greatly as that crowd responded to Willis Reed stepping on the floor.
The Lakers turned around, and including Wilt, turned around and saw this, and they lost the game right there.
I said to myself, man, we got these guys. We got them. Because they seemed so concerned about what Willis was going to do.
I just thought for us that there's no way that he could have any impact on that game physically. And to watch him out there hobbling around, I really felt it was an enormous advantage. The game starts, and one of the first plays down the floor, here comes Willis, gets a pass from Frazier.
Slows it down, is picked up by Jerry West of the number post Reed.
You think the Garden went crazy?
Dude.
Wow, they went absolutely nuts.
1 or 2 plays later, Willis gets the ball again about 16, 17 feet. He takes a shot. He hits the second shot. And at that point, it's over.
When he canned his first 2 shots, the adrenaline was flowing, man. The place was in Bedlam.
I had never seen a reaction like that in the Garden. I don't think I've ever seen a reaction since.
The crowd became like our 6th man. They really catapulted us to another level in believing that we could beat the Lakers.
The spiritualism of the moment was clear. The energy level in the building was phenomenal. And you can truthfully say that the Lakers never got into the ball game.
Frazier led both teams with 36 points and 19 assists. Willis Reed didn't score another point in 27 minutes on the floor, but his presence inspired his teammates to heights even they could not have envisioned that championship season.
It was something that was destined. If we had to play the Lakers again, we wouldn't have beaten them, man, because they were a dominant team. It was just something that happened for that one game. It all came together for us.
It was one of the singular, most amazing games by an injured player I've ever seen. And he's been an all-time hero in New York ever since.
I've been asked, how can you explain to your son that the greatest game you ever played in, you only scored 4 points? I said, well, it wasn't the greatest game I've ever played, but definitely the most important game I've ever played.
Damn, actually seeing him, see, sometimes you need, or sometimes I need, I don't know about other people, but sometimes with me, to really grasp the magnitude of something, sometimes, not all the time, or for me to fully, not necessarily just grasp it, but for me to fully understand, fully grasp the magnitude of something, sometimes I just need a little bit of visual cue, you know what I mean? And, you know, I've read the story, I know how iconic it is, but actually seeing him out there, legitimately injured, that man shouldn't have been out on that floor. Shouldn't have been. You saw him hobbling. That's a legit injury. That is a legit tear. That guy's out there laboring, sucking it up. Hits his first 2 shots. Major impact. And, you know, I just thought about it initially, you know, before seeing this and hearing these people talk about it. Phil, Chick Hearn, Willis himself, Jerry West. You know, I just thought about it from how he, you know, elevated his teammates, was an inspiring figure for his teammates. But I didn't even look at it from the perspective of the Laker folks observing what this guy is doing. You know, they hear the crowd going wild, like a crowd would practically go wild for no one during warm-ups. And you see this guy running out the tunnel with a torn muscle, giving it all he got. That had to be somewhat deflating for some players on the other team. I mean, not everybody's built from a certain type of cloth. But like they said, they probably knew they won right there. They knew the Lakers lost right there. I don't know if they wore their expressions on their face, them Laker fans or them Laker players, when they saw that man run out. But golly. And even Jerry West is like, okay, he can come out here if he want to, but I don't see in how God's name this guy going to be able to play. Sure enough. The only thing, Willis said, the only thing I'm missing is some crutches, boy. And after I'm done with you, after we done with you, y'all going to need some crutches. I don't need them. I'll labor through it. Sure enough. But I like what he said. It might not have been my best game, but my most important game. And everybody that's ever been a New York Knicks fan, everybody that's ever lived in New York, I can understand why they have the utmost respect for that man, because that's their first championship. And like many people thought, they was going to get cooked without Willis Reed. But something special happened based off the energy and confidence this man provided by being there for his team in the most difficult situation for him, but felt like he could provide something for the team. And if you felt like you can provide something for the team and help them win, and that Game 7 in the NBA Finals, after watching Wilt Chamberlain terrorize them in your absence, give it what you can got, and made the chips lie where they may. And for him, it all worked out. I don't know if he sustained any more damage to his leg after that, but for the price of a championship, I'm sure he'd do it all over again. Sometimes it doesn't always work out for players. Remember in the finals, Kevin Durant decided to go out there after it looked like the Raptors might have been running away with the series a little bit. Kevin Durant went out there, and when KD went out, the Warriors looked like a completely different team from when Kevin Durant went in the game after his hiatus from his injury in the finals. The team looked way better. They looked way different with KD on the floor. Tears his Achilles, The Warriors end up winning that game, but I don't think they win that game if KD doesn't go out there and give it. Ultimately, the Warriors did not win the championship. So at the end of the day, KD tore that Achilles all for naught in hindsight, but valiant effort. But, you know, Game 7 on a torn muscle in your leg, boy. Limping out there, hit your first 2 buckets. They shot him up with cortisone in the beginning, and he gave it back to the franchise. He gave that cortisone back to his teammates with those two early buckets. That was a shot for them. That was a shot of adrenaline for them. If any of you guys ever play video games, there's a extremely fun multiplayer game called Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2. And I think there's you can get a shot of adrenaline to give yourself a performance boost. That's what I'm thinking of. Anyway. Hey, that's all I got to say about it. Ram, I appreciate you. This was an excellent selection. I love it. Great moment. I'm happy this is your favorite NBA moment. A very unique moment. And I think a moment that, outside of y'all old heads, and I mean that respectfully, I'm an old head too, that got to see some of this stuff, and me kind of being past my I don't want to say, but me being born well after that time. But at least trying to go back and do my due diligence and read up on the basketball history. I think that this could be one of those performances that as time goes on and as we pass away and time goes on, it might be forgotten in the NBA archives, unfortunately. But as long as we are still here, we could keep letting people know about it. You know what I mean? Willis Reed, ladies and gentlemen. New York Knickerbockers. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Let me know what you think about it. And I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.